Hey guys, I'm Eve Yasmine from London and you're watching missoutlet.com. I'm Eve Yasmine, I'm 18 and I'm from London. I worked as a journalist and now I do presenting and I'm beginning to get into music as well, singing. I've been recording in the studio recently and I'm just heavily involved in entertainment and working with young people and other teenagers and like-minded creative people. So when I started thinking about becoming a journalist, I've always enjoyed writing and I really love English. I like people just generally. I've got a big interest in people, different cultures, and journalism fascinated me, but I didn't want to become a journalist at first. The idea of becoming a journalist, someone who's annoying and getting in people's lives. But when I realised that you didn't have to be that type of journalist, you know, there's fashion journalism, there's entertainment journalism, there's interviewing celebrities and features and magazines. There's so much more than the stereotypical idea of a journalist. That is what appealed to me. I used to dance a lot, so when I was studying I used to do like street dance and cheerleading, and I did Bollywood dancing. And through Bollywood dancing, that got me into some modelling work, and then that led me into fashion events where I met people who just started magazines and blogs, and I put myself forward. You know, I had a really big interest in it and just went for it and started writing for new magazines, blogging, writing about fashion on my website, and then that gained interest, and Britain's Next Top Model Live contacted me through my website through seeing a couple of fashion blog posts I'd done. So if you want to be a blogger or a journalist, get your writing out there and just go for it. If I had to choose three places in London that I really love, one of them has to be Knightsbridge, where we are today. Harrods, loads of really good shops, and I'm having my birthday party at a venue here very soon, so I'm excited. Second, I really like Camden because you get a lot of eccentric fashion accessories and clothing, and I did a lot of filming there as well when I was doing for Britain's Next Top Model and with Superstar magazine as well, so it brings back some good memories. And number three, I'd have to say Harrow, because that's where I'm from and it's home, so I love home. I'm very experimental and I really like accessories and accessorizing and customizing in general. So I'll go for designers with shoes, for example. It could be a Louboutin shoe, it could be a shoe from a high street shop, it doesn't matter where it's from. Also keeping, close to my roots. So this is from Morocco, and then this I was given when I was little from Morocco as well. And then this is from the UK, so I like to mix it up, you know, different countries. I always wear something with lips on. Lips has become a logo of mine, and that kind of represents the UK and London attire. I'm a big fan of colours. So for my party, for example, the theme is neons and bright lights, so I'm expecting lots of luminous outfits and very funky, just cheerful things. Being a journalist and presenter, I've had the opportunity to interview a lot of really interesting people. Some of the most fun interviews, one of them early on this year, I interviewed an alternative hip-hop duo called Chili Bang, and one of them started to fall asleep. He was imitating a scenario they'd been in. They were on the plane and they were telling me about this storm they'd been in and how one of them just fell asleep in a storm. Like, usually people would be scared in a storm and everyone's like, I'm gonna die. But no, he just fell asleep on the plane, and he just started to do this in the interview, and it was quite funny. They were so lovely and very intellectual as well, and open-minded to so many different types and genres of music. So yeah, they were wicked. Interviewing Red One, you know, that was a huge highlight for me. Someone who's Moroccan, doing extremely well for himself and inspiring so many other young Moroccan people. I love what he does, all the things he does, his music, his personality. He's such a humble guy, and interviewing Red One was just amazing. Kat Von D, she's a tattoo artist and fashion designer. She knows a lot, and she's a very successful businesswoman as well. You know, she's an author of quite a few books. She had a clothing line launched recently in the UK. She was just a lovely person to interview, and I really enjoyed it. Conor Maynard, He's very hot right now, and he was #2 in the charts recently. And during our interview, I got him to sing the SpongeBob theme tune. And that was quite funny. So yeah. So the music thing has happened really recently. I was presenting at the Guardian Open Weekend on their stage, and that was just so much fun presenting there. And backstage I started humming. But anyway, I was humming, and there was a guy backstage and was like, "Wait, Eve, do you sing?" And I was like, "Oh no, I'll leave that to you," because he performs. And he kept nudging me like, "Oh, come on, sing something, sing something." And I don't usually feel that comfortable around people just to sing like that, but with him I did. And I sang, and he was saying to me, "Eve, why aren't you doing something with your voice?" And he was like, "You know, there's no harm in trying, you know, if you've got something, why not just go for it? You know, you're in the industry now." And when he said that, it kind of made me think, you know what, it's like, I've always loved music, why not? You know, life's too short. So that just kind of like left there. And then my friend was assisting a music event, and she asked if I wanted to come down. I was like, "Yeah, sure." And I had quite a few guys coming up to me asking me if I was a music artist, and I was like, "Oh no, I'm a presenter." But I do sing, you know, I didn't usually mention that before, but I did that time. I got in touch with a guy called Blastermind, and he's a music producer from France. Very, very, very talented guy, top drummer, music producer, songwriter, singer, you know, you name it. He can even play the pianos. Very musically talented. And we met up one day, and we recorded that same day, and we recorded one of his songs. It was called On Your Own. And then the second time we met, he gave me the chance to co-write with him, which was really a really enjoyable experience. And that's called No Matter What They Say. And that song's had a really lovely response, and I'm very pleased with it.
I'll come with you no matter what they say. I know it's true, I know you're here to stay.
And then after people seeing that, I had another one of my friends who's a DJ, and he's done tracks with like a grime artist here called Wiley, and he actually went away and wrote a song based on some experiences that had happened to me, and I was just like, wow, this is really cool, you know, because I used to be bullied when I was younger, and I didn't have a lot of confidence. And the song's basically about, you know, no matter all the negativity that happened to you in the past, people who thought they were hard and, you know, making you feel bad, well, you're not going to let them stop you from doing what you're doing now. You know, no one can stop you. And that's like the whole message of the song. I really felt it. And I went to the studio with him. His name's Colin, star rocker, and another guy called Julian. And we recorded that day. It was just a really great vibe in the studio, and it's a dubstep track. And I haven't heard it mixed yet, but I'm really excited to hear it. So yeah. If I didn't do journalism, I definitely would still do a job involved with people, because I've always just had a love for people in general. I'm not sure what that job would be, but definitely something involving people and culture and countries and travelling, and that is something I still want to do. So a lot of charity work, I definitely like to do that regardless of whether I'm in journalism or not in journalism. I'd like to continue and keep up doing that, and maybe if I wasn't in journalism at all, maybe that's something I would pursue even more. The question I was thinking in my head was, is she going to ask me what I'm going to do in my future? But instead she asked me what would I do if I wasn't in journalism. But I like the fact she didn't ask me, because okay, a lot of people do have projects in the pipeline, but with journalism especially, I feel personally, the way I work, it's day by day. You know, I'll get calls at like 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning, texts at 4 in the morning, and you never know what's going to come up, and all these opportunities just come like this, and you just go with the flow and just enjoy it. So yeah, that was a question I thought she would ask. So yeah.